CBC News, meanwhile, has learned how much it costs to deploy military members to work in overwhelmed long-term care homes in Ontario and Quebec earlier in the pandemic. Figures obtained from the Department of National Defence put the cost at $53 million. The CBC's Murray Brewster joins us now right here in Ottawa with more on that. Hey, Murray, can you explain to us sort of how they got to $53 million, what makes that total up, and what else you've learned about the military's role in fighting the pandemic?
Well, one of the things we've learned is that the military's role has been expensive. In terms of the overall appropriation from Parliament, the military had to go back and ask the Government of Canada for $463 million. Included in that is the $53 million for long-term care. But if you want to do a quick comparison, that's almost the same size as at least a couple of years' worth of appropriations for the military deployments in Afghanistan. So it's almost as expensive as a war. What these figures entail, they include the evacuation and quarantine of Canadian citizens who were repatriated, if you remember, way back when, earlier in the pandemic. But it also includes $207 million for the call-up of reservists and the assembly of that task force that the military promised early in the spring that would be there in case things went really bad. The other main thing that we learned today was that from the long-term care deployments, there were 55 troops that contracted COVID, and they've all recovered.
So what about, I guess, the role for the military looking forward? We're in the second wave right now, obviously, and we just had Minister Anita Anand on talking about a vaccine, the good news where the vaccine is concerned, but also now, how does it get distributed? The government is engaged in those conversations, not a whole lot of information at this point. Will the military have a role in that distribution?
Well, at the moment, it's unclear whether the military will have a role. What we do know is that the military is providing logistical advice on how that vaccine can be distributed across the country. They're also helping set up a national distribution and center that will coordinate the distribution of the vaccine, which sort of makes sense given how geographically dispersed Canada is. But whether or not military transport planes and trucks and freezer units are going to be part of that and going into provinces, that still hasn't been determined yet. But stay tuned. It should come reasonably soon.
Yeah, a lot of questions about how that vaccine distribution is going to work. Thanks, Murray. Appreciate your time as always. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.